Hey folks, my name is Pat Dees. Welcome to my channel, Pat Dees the Traveling Picker. If you came across this video and you're wondering how the heck did I come across a reselling channel's video, I wasn't sure if I was even going to make this video, but honestly, immediately when it happened last night that sent me to the emergency room at 9 o'clock at night, I went to YouTube real quick looking for answers, and I'm saying, I was debating today because I did a Facebook post on mine, and my friends saw what happened, and I thought, you know what, do the YouTube video because I know as I search YouTube, I think there ought to be real life experiences, people that have dealt with what happened to me, that they share their story that I maybe you could learn or give you guys heads up. So all right, let's get into it. I do appreciate it, and guys, if you found my channel, you want to like and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. But last night, I was eating catfish, actually catfish nuggets. I've had them before, no problems, and I was having catfish nuggets, spinach, and little diced potatoes. 9 o'clock at night. Probably shouldn't even be eating that late at night, but irregardless was because part of even what I do is I do like DoorDash, Uber Eats, sell on eBay, sell on whatnot, and it was late. It was hot yesterday, so I'm sitting down here in the dining room at an elevated counter, and I pick. I eat some of the potatoes first. I eat catfish. And all of a sudden, like, I feel a bone. And I'm like, "Ugh, damn it." You're thinking that these things are boneless and stuff like that. And, well, they're not. Or they always put the disclaimer that still may contain some bones in real small print, on the back of the bag. Probably because they use a machine to cut these things. And so I'm, like, kind of, like, spitting out some, but I'm still chewing. And I pull out like this 2 inch, inch and a half, 2 inch bone. You could see it's pretty damn big. But I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, I think I got it out, but I still feel in the back of my throat, and I had already swallowed, and I was only eating a little piece. I already had swallowed, and I'm like, there's something in the back of my throat. It feels like another bone. And I start like coughing. And I say to my wife, and she's like, I said, I have a bone stuck at the back of my throat. I'm pretty sure, and I'm coughing. So I go in the, she's like, make yourself vomit. And I couldn't do that. That wouldn't work. I'm spitting, I'm coughing, and I just can't seem to. So I go to YouTube. And right away I'm thinking, God, if I swallow this bone, based on this size, oh my God, it's gonna tear my insides up. Am I gonna need surgery in the future? These little, you might think big deal, but you know how like even like splinters are, and I don't need to get an infection because I'm already on treatment for doing cancer treatment. So, which don't want to get real deep into it because that's not the point of the video. But I got to avoid infection. So I'm like, I don't need this, obviously in me. And I'm starting to panic. I'm, trying to calm down. So on YouTube, it says, yeah, don't, but basically try not to swallow. And it's, says basically seek medical attention. So I say to my wife, I said, I got to go to the hospital. And she's like, well, So I tell her, get ready because we got to go to the hospital. And I'm trying to remain calm, not swallow, because I'm worried about and really just trying to remain calm. And I tell her, we get in a car, and I have her drive. And if you know me, I drive 99.9% of the time. So for me to have her drive, it's something serious. And I keep my body kind of hunched over a little bit because I don't want to lean back. And I tell her to go to a certain hospital, which is probably about let's say 26, 27 miles away. And she reminds me, oh, how about we just go to that other one? You're going to get in faster, which is about 4 or 5 miles closer. A new one that opened like in the past 2 years. I'm like, oh yeah. The other one has a tendency to be, because it's right in Scranton, the one that I wanted to go to, because it's in the heart of a community. A lot of people walk to it to use it sort of like as their doctor visit and stuff like that. So it has the tendency to kind of be a little overstaffed, and I don't know. The reputation is so-so, but it is a trauma unit. So we go to this new one, and I actually went there before with a back issue that I had last year. Anyone that does follow me on reselling, when I was unloading a storage unit and hurt my back, that's where I went. But so I'm like, okay. So we get there. She dropped me off, emergency department. I go in, and I'm trying not to talk too much. Then she comes in, and I'm saying like, hey, I got a fishbone stuck in the back of my throat, and they take my blood pressure. They don't tell me when they take my blood pressure then, but I found out later my blood pressure had went up to 180, I think over like 106. I've never seen my blood pressure that high. Typically, the highest my blood pressure ever is like 140 over 80, but mine typically comes in at like 130-ish over 70-ish, and my breathing, the thing they put on, I forget what it's called, pulsator or something like that on your finger for oxygen, that's fine. So I sit down, and they call me back, and they have me do an x-ray. So they have me stand on the side like this, stand to the front, and they take several pictures. I go back, it asked me if I need a wheelchair to go back. I'm like, no, I can walk, just, trying to remain calm again and not do it, and I already have bad gag reflex, and my neck is thick. I mean, years ago I used to lift weights, and I was even heavier. I'm about 50 some pounds off my peak, but my neck is, I probably got a 20-inch. I'm curious. Don't mind a little bit of the mess on the table. I was getting ready to do a whatnot show, and then all this happened. Yeah, I got like a 21 inch neck. I didn't want to go too because of the tape. And I do wear a CPAP machine at night, which I'm doing very well with. I mean, there's nights I have no occurrences or no events, whatever they call it, per hour. So I've been on that for almost 2 years, and steady, and doing very well with that. So I guess I'm trying to make up excuses, I guess, for what happened some. But anyway, so I'm out there. They call me back, and what's up, and I explain to them, and sitting back there probably about 25 minutes, and they always give you, they'll be in shortly. Shortly could be, it's sort of like the cable man, be coming between 9 and 4, and they always seem to come at 3:45. But yeah, if you left to go out and run an errand at 10:30, that they would, we missed you, we were there. So it reminds me of the Kramer episode in Seinfeld. But anyways, so he comes back. The doctor comes back, and he takes a tongue depressor, puts it on, and I jokingly say, "Oh, sorry about the fish breath, because fish is good for you." And he looks at my wife and shines a light and says he doesn't see nothing. There's nothing there. And I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I can feel something." And I said, "Did you check the x-ray?" And he goes, "Oh, you had an x-ray? Oh, let me go see. I didn't know you had an x-ray." And so he comes back, I don't know, what was it? 10 minutes later? I know, it was about 10 minutes later. It was longer than I thought, but I was, not really 100% impressed. But he comes back, and I'm looking at what I wrote on Facebook because trying to, sometimes that's why when it's fresh on your mind. But comes back, no, they say the text says there's no foreign object in your. And I'm like, and my wife had said to me that, because I had sat there so long that maybe there was nothing in there, it was just irritated from pulling out the first bone. And because they didn't come back like right away. It seems like she felt like if there was a sense of urgency and there was something in there, they would have been back sooner. And but he's like, oh, you could go for a CAT scan, but they don't recommend it because they're finding out that cats, especially on the throat, CAT scans actually have been too many CAT scans have been given and they've been causing cancer. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm already going. He goes, but we're open 24/7. Basically telling me there's nothing there. Go home, and making me feel like I'm sort of like making it up, or oh, you just probably he said you probably have you have a scratch, and I'm like, I could feel it, like right in here, and he said, and if it's not better than 3 days, and then I say to him, well, I am doing a PET scan on Tuesday. Oh, okay, yeah. Then that pretty much shows everything. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay, I'm still irritated. I'm gonna use the bathroom. So I go in there and I'm gargling water, and was that a good imitation or not? But and I'm spitting water out in the sink, and it has a little grate. I'm worried, like, oh God, if a bone even did come out, I wouldn't even see it. So I go back in there, and I say to her, my wife, she's sitting there, and I just doesn't feel right. And so I look on my phone, and it says that sometimes with X-rays, it doesn't get picked up, and I'm like, come on, And then it mentions PET scans. So here's where people say don't use Google Doctor. Google Doctor made me think different, and YouTube that, like, wait a minute, don't necessarily take what they're saying as the word of God, or the word of the doctor. And so she says to me, well, she has a cough drop, Ricola. Is it Ricola? Do you want one of those? I'm like, yeah, because my throat is irritant, and I'm standing up, I'm pacing in the waiting where we were, the little room that we were actually in, the room that my wife goes to me. I was wondering why ours had a door and some of them had curtains. Ours was basically the psych room, because I said, oh, look at that TV up there. It was in case. She goes, yeah, they have magnets on the door. So that was the room that I was in. So she gives me a cough drop, and I'm sucking on it for about a minute, and I'm worked up still, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, and I catch it. It kind of lands on my arm. I put it back in my mouth. I'm still sucking on it, and all of a sudden I felt like the urge to cough, and I go, and all of a sudden I could feel something fumbling around in my mouth, and obviously I'm going to keep my mouth open. And lo and behold, the non-existent thing that they said no foreign objects, or he didn't see, this big thing I catch in my, which was on the thumbnail, this big bone. And reference to my hand, it's huge. Your phone's ringing. So I catch this big bone in my left hand. And meanwhile, this huge bone, the throat lozenge, the cough drop, had worked it up and created a cough for me, and helped me. And meanwhile, I'm a little angry. I'm a little honestly pissed, because they acted like I was sort of, we don't see nothing. And I know a lot of people, so the door's open. I go in the hallway, and I see a lady out there. I said, look, where's the doctor at? And I said, they were saying, I said, look at this. Oh, I'll go get him. I'll go tell him. And he comes back probably, I don't know, 5 minutes later. oh, I heard it came out, the bone came out. I'm like, yeah. I said, look at this. He goes, yeah, that's big. He goes, I don't know why the tech didn't catch it on the X-ray. I said, I don't know, but I said, you guys acted like, oh, did I said, you acted like I was nuts. Oh, did I say that? He looks over at my wife, kind of like getting a little defensive and kind of smiling. And I'm like, no, but I knew what I was talking about. And, it was scary to think that they, basically, oh, well, go home. And the discharge nurse, I guess that's what she's called. Maybe she's not officially a nurse, it don't matter. Gives me some bullshit excuse that, oh, well, the calcium on the bone, they couldn't pick that. Now it just seems to me they're just kind of making excuses for incompetence. And, I said, well, I don't want to use this as just, like, oh, I stubbed my toe in the middle of the night and, I broke a toenail. This was serious. I don't, and I wasn't taking it lightly, and they weren't, to me, taking it serious enough. And then she says, you would be surprised at Easter time how many 80-year-old men come here with ham stuck in their throat. I'm like, ham? Like, you could be choked. How the hell do you... I'm like, but that's what she said. And, so they give me the checkout paperwork, and I don't know. It just, to me, it was... I was just so frustrated and relieved at the same time. My throat was still hurting, obviously, from this laying in the back of it. But so I come home and I post up on Facebook to kind of share my story. And this was at like almost midnight then last night. And I'm like, oh my God. So someone says that the techs aren't even allowed to tell you. No, from what I understand before in the past, what they do is they use foreigners from, I think, other countries that are able to read not the tech that takes the X-ray, the employee in a sense. They use foreigners to read the test, and there's nothing in there. The only thing they talked about in the results I saw last night was degenerative in my neck and stuff like that. So that is my story. So guys, don't take things for granted. If you feel something wrong, be an advocate for yourself. Go there, talk about it. This is, if you ever do get a fishbone, cough drop, don't swallow it, and that's what helped me. But guys, I know this is not reseller related. If you came across my video, please do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel. Check out my other channel. I do 3D printing with my youngest son. And we're trying to grow that channel, and it's new. And I'm going to put the link up here below. That's how you can help me. I wanted to make this video. So if you felt this video was informational and helped you, please subscribe to that channel. Have a good day.